What's up, everybody? It's your girl, PrettyPercent. That's spelled P-R-E-T-T-Y with a percent sign. We are back about to review another Zatima episode, Season 2, Episode 7. Stick around. Before we get started, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you can be up to date whenever I drop a new video. All right, guys, I got my guest here with me again. This is my fiance, Sean.
Hello, YouTube.
Sean Bear, don't forget that.
right. Not Rico Suave from, what is it, 5 and 6?
Because his name is Sean in there too, but that's not who we're talking about, okay? So we're going to go ahead and talk about the Season 2, Episode 7 episodes that we saw, okay? Yep. And I'll go ahead and read. It is Mind Over Matter on Zatima, Season 2, Episode 7. Zach's wavering faith in his relationship with Fatima leads him to unsolicited advice from a much more seasoned person. Fatima deceives Zach in an effort to help him.
True. Yeah, so... I guess, yeah.
What'd you think about this one?
Well, the first thing, remember we left off 6, she caught him in the bed with the pocket with JJ. That's
what we wanted to call it, the pocket with JJ, but it was really called...
The side chick.
The side chick.
Yeah.
So we could go ahead and say side chick now. So, I remember it going off. It was so dramatic when Zatima, I keep saying Zatima, y'all, and y'all gotta forgive me. Fatima. So Fatima runs upstairs and she's like, Zach, I know you're not. And he's in a bed, butt naked. And all of a sudden, they show that little part of him being butt naked too. I'm wondering, is he really butt naked? I mean, I'm sure he got some kind of little shorts on or something. I don't know. But but you couldn't see it. They cut it so fast. I told Sean, I said, I bet that when she comes up there and when it comes back on, she's going to be laughing and then he's going to laugh and they're just going to be back into a happy family. Well, I was wrong and right, actually. So at the beginning, she busts out laughing. She laughs because he's actually using this side chick toy that she is the one who gave it to him in the first place. But I'm thinking she didn't think he was going to really use it. And he was up there using that thing going to work. So she starts laughing. He's like, what you laughing at, man? You the one gave this to me, man. He kind of embarrassed, to be honest. That's what I feel. I mean, when you feel embarrassed if I ran up there and, like, you're really using this thing? I mean, you want to do that by yourself.
I don't want to be using no side chick at all, but
but if you were,
yeah, I wouldn't want to be getting caught by my woman. Like,
wouldn't that be embarrassing to you, or would you be like?
That'd be very. I don't know. I might be like, well, I mean, I got to get it how I can somewhere or something.
And she wasn't even mad because she's like, you know what? He wasn't up here with another woman. That's what she thought. I don't know why she thought he would actually do something like that. They're not trusting each other, guys. So anyways, after that happened, he sits at the end of the bed. He's like, you the one who gave me this in the first place. And she's like, oh my goodness. Like, she went back downstairs to call her girl back, first of all. I don't know why she had to call her back. Or she put her on hold, I think. Her girl, Angela,
of course.
And she put her on hold. So Angela and her talking on the phone. She's like, girl, was he up there with another girl? Because I'm about to be coming over there, be ready to beat her up. So she's like, nah, girl, that was the girl next door. That was Deja. And she's like, oh, Deja over there? She said, no, girl, she was next door having sex with somebody else. So, but I'm gonna call you back. Everything good. She's like, okay, girl, because I'll come over there and be ready to fight. Like, she got one of her friends, but her friend is a down chick, okay? We all want a friend like that. So
no, we don't.
We all need somebody like that. So she goes back upstairs and laughs at him again. So he's like, does he have some clothes on by then? I think he put some shorts on.
He's on the bed, yeah.
And he was like,
well, this is the best I had, or something like that.
Yeah, this is the best pee he ever had. And she said, oh, what? So I'm guessing they playing around. Yeah. So she picks up the pillow and hits him with it. And he was like, this is the best pee I ever had. It don't do some other stuff that you do. Y'all got to look at that, what they were talking about.
Yeah.
So they was flirting a little bit. I thought they was flirting, and I thought that was cute. But, he was like, my woman won't give me none. And she was like, you think I'm about to give you some after how you been acting? So she's still acting that hard road now. And he's still thinking in his head like, all right, you still ain't going to give me none, It cuts to the next scene where he's actually in the barbershop.
Right.
And what's the man's name? Tyrone?
Tony, his friend Tony.
His friend Tony. But, that's Tony's shop. And Tyrone is his dad who actually works there.
Yeah, I think they both own the shop. So, yeah.
One of few, because I believe he has a few more shops.
Right, he did mention it. So, shout out to entrepreneur Tony.
So he's in there trying to get some advice, and and Tyrone's like, Tony, come in here. We got Scary Boy up in here. He was like, who's scary? I'm not scared. He was like, well, you sound scary every time you come up in here. But anyways, he sits there and talks to his friend. Now, this is one of the most calmest friends he have, kind of more calmer than Nathan. He has these two friends, and Nathan is the one that's so hyper, and then Tony is the one that's more calm. But when he gets with Nathan, he gets hyper with him. They all be hyper.
Right, they all lose their mind.
So he asking for advice. He's like, man, Fatima still won't give me none. And just the other night, back on season 2, it was episode 6 that we were talking about. It was 5 or 6. Where he was talking about how he went over to Deja's house because she was talking about the water was about to overflow in the tub. So he had to go over there. He goes over there, the girl butt naked. So he's like, she's butt naked. And, I'm really trying hard. I'm trying, bro. I'm really trying not to mess with this girl. And he was like, he had his eyes closed trying to help her. But when he looked at her, she butt naked and stuff. And she put her feet all on him. He said that while he was over there. He said, but... he coming out the house, and when he coming out the house,
he got that stiffy.
He's on a hard. He called it a boner, man. I was hard or whatever. So Zatima saw, but Fatima saw. I'm so sorry, y'all. Fatima saw him, and he was like, I'm caught. So that was with her coming out of the car with another man that he thought it was her man or whatever. So he's sitting there telling Tyrone all of this. Tony. That's why I stopped. I was like, he's gonna help me out. Anytime I mess up, that's why I have my guest here. He is gonna help me out. But so they're talking, and old boy giving him some advice, talking about some. Well, what was she mad? What did she do when she saw? Right. He was like, she didn't do nothing. He said, oh, you need to leave her. You need to leave her. Like, what kind of advice is that?
I mean, he was like basically because they all know Fatima as Fatima. Scrappy, something like that go down. She about to air, as they like to say, air this thing out. So, you coming out of this girl house that's y'all been having as y'all tenant. She been trying to throw it at you so long, and you coming out with your thing all out stiff with the stiffy, and Fatima just like playing it off like there's no problem. She just. Blew it off. He was like, dang, bro, it might be over. At that point, she don't even really care.
That's how he felt.
Yep, and then he mentioned, like you said, that coming out the car and stuff, which I'm still like, I'm like, all this could have been solved if they had just talked about it.
Communication is key, you guys. Communication is key.
Yup. But anyway, so way to pick up. They was talking, and then Zach goes outside and see Tyrone.
He goes out there, and then the guy was like, what's wrong with you youngsters today? He's smoking his big cigar. And he was like, what's wrong with us? He was like, you're getting advice from the wrong people. So he was like, you need to get advice from an old head like me. I guess a true gangster or whatever, like him.
Well, yeah, they call them the OGs. They got some experience. They've seen the world differently. What we go through, they've already been through it, so they know how to handle it. So, I mean, I was a fan.
Some advice from an old head.
Yeah, I was a fan of Tyrone. I was like, okay, look at OG up there dropping some knowledge. Yeah.
But he was letting them know. He was like, hey, you got you a good woman there. And Zach like, how you know? He was like, well, I hear y'all talk about her all the time or whatever. He was like, but you kind of messing up.
He also mentioned how they be in his so-called friends being there always talking about how they got to split them up and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Listen to nobody's always telling you need to leave instead of talking it out or talk about it in the first place. He was like, don't end up like me. And he was like, what you mean? He was like, I woke up one day, I was 50 years old.
So
He said I was messing with old women.
Yeah,
He was like,
yeah.
you know, I'm in the bed. I had to pick up her heavy leg and stuff. Got throw it down. I ain't got time for that.
Right. He mentioned something. He mentioned something else about he had to get on disability or Medicare.
Well, he
or
said
something.
he stopped messing with it. He said he got that Obamacare.
Obamacare,
How
yeah.
could you forget? He got that Obamacare and he left his woman.
Right.
Why they throw that in there? Like, all right, whatever. I guess
Shout out to
supposed
Barack,
be.
getting these old raggedy, wrinkly women away from these OGs. You know, now they.
That's what he said. But so Zach was listening to him. He was like, "You need to stop smoking them cigars." He was like, "Oh, this cigar is a vegan cigar." He's like, "What?"
Man.
You guys. So I think they're gonna start playing a little bit more roles with him or something soon because he's actually funny.
Yeah, they might
If you want to get some advice or something.
Yeah, I like to see him in there a few times. They toss him in there a little more. The key takeaway, the key quote from that whole conversation, he was like, you know, don't be getting advice from people that ain't got their S word together.
SHIT stuff together.
Yep.
Okay. We trying to keep it PG-13 and not curse today. Let's see whoever curses today. We'll see.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like that. Little pop.
Okay. So then after that, we pick up, of course, to your girl Fatima.
He's funny.
I'm
not gonna forget that anymore either.
Let's
Let's see if I do.
But she's at the therapist shop, and of course, I mean not the therapist shop, the therapist's office.
Yes.
And of course, coincidentally, because this show is all about coincidences, who was there?
Dun dun dun.
Paul.
I couldn't. I couldn't think of Paul's name, you guys. Just that man.
AKA
I was gonna say that
Bob.
man.
Bob the Builder. Now,
Yeah, we can call him Bob the Builder. I like that.
well, yeah, that's his nickname. They gave Zach gave him. Well, I guess one of the other earlier episodes, but you know, I was on his side a little bit. You know, I was like, I was like, you know, he's a little stand up guy. He don't mean nothing by it, but you know, he really rubbing me the wrong way. Especially this episode, and you know, the episode 8, which we'll get into in another, you know, video. But yeah, he's starting to rub me wrong. I'm about to put him in the Angela category. He about to be upgraded there with Angela in the, you know, these people is not a good look. These are not a good look characters.
Well, they gotta have some of them on there. So she's in there when she comes to the therapist's office there for therapy, and you know, he's talking to her like, "Yeah, you sure I can't take you out and stuff?" Like trying to holler at her. She's like, "Oh, you gonna take me and Zach out?" He's like, "Oh, I knew that was coming." You know, like he's still trying to push up on her, whatever. And she's standing her ground. That's why I like Fatima. She's like, like just because that little situation happened when we was in the elevator, just because you got to him up, and now everybody laughing about it, whatever. Zach got him back though. When he did a little cut note.
He hit him with that Evander Holyfield headbutt, you know.
He headbutted him. Yes, he did. Because he was like, I'm going to just keep it clean, you know. But, you know, everybody's talking about him getting hemmed up now. Even his friends, like, come on, them ain't your friends, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they did say they got the video trending online. Yeah, that sucks.
So here comes out the therapist guy, and he's there, and he's looking at them like, oh, he's, you know, Paul said you were beautiful. Like, she was like, okay, thank you.
Right. You supposed to be trying to create a safe space for potential clients. You up there flirting with the lady. You know,
never say that you're beautiful. No, you supposed to be straight up like for business. Like, all right, I'm here to talk to you. Let's go. But I guess when he saw Fatima, he was just like,
right.
But so they go in there. She sits down, and then the guy is still talking. He's like, "Yeah, Paul recommended you to me. He's you know, he's a good guy. He's a real good guy." Like he trying to sell Paul on to her.
Right.
She's like, "Okay, well, I'm here for my man Zach.
Right.
I feel like he needs therapy from you." And the guy's like, "Oh, really? So do you not think you need it too? You know what I'm saying? Like maybe we need both of you. Is he just want her up in there too? Because he looking at her too?" But anyway, the guy is really. He got a divorce. So she's like, hold on, you're not even married? He's like, well, wait a minute. I did get a divorce, but then they switched that up real fast. And he was like, but I did remarry.
Right. He said, you know, he had to, you know, get some things. Well, he said he was willing to do the work.
And it takes
But
work.
eventually, he realized he was the only one putting in the work. So, the marriage didn't work out. So he ended up, of course, getting remarried later on. And now, like, he's got a nice marriage, successful marriage going on.
Yeah.
But, he's been
But he
recommended.
giving compliments and stuff to the lady. Talking
Oh,
about
yeah, she beautiful,
and all
boy.
that and stuff. And want to come over. Well, that part about coming over. So she ends up.
Whoa, don't jump too quick now. The funny thing about this scene is, this is the most note-taking therapist I've seen who's doing all this writing that ends up still with a blank notebook.
Yeah, so he has a big notebook like this, and every time he's talking, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't think I need any therapy or anything."
He's like, "Okay."
He's like, "Oh, really?" Mm-hmm. And she was like, "What's that you got there? What are you writing?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm just nothing. I'm just taking some notes." And she was like, "Okay, well, understand this is for Zach. It's not for me. But I mean, to be honest, Zach don't even know I'm up in here want to get him some therapy anyway. So that's why I had to come. That's why I came in the first place. But then finally, he's like, some people always think that it's always the man, it's always the one person, but it's really both of you, and you both need to come together." So she agreed.
Which I agree with. Did she agree
definitely.
with it? I don't know. She agreed.
She still feel like she ain't the problem though.
Yeah, she's like, talking about something, this is really just about Zach right now. I just want to focus on Zach.
And he did say the reason why you probably thinking it could be him, maybe his upbringing, something was going on in his childhood or something. She was like, well, that is true because he's got a lot going on with his mom right now. If you've seen in the earlier episodes, his mom, she's on drugs, and he came from like a bad neighborhood, and the father wasn't in the home, everything. So that's basically what they're talking about. But anyways, so finally they're gonna go ahead and come together. And she asked him, she said, hey, she was thinking about her friend Angela. She was like, Angela, I have another friend who's going through it with her dude. So actually, I'll be cooking. I want you to the therapist. And what's his name?
Let me see. I got it in my note.
Paul.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Reed.
Yeah. All right.
Take them notes.
Get your paid. Okay. Or a handshake, huh? Do you remember?
No, I don't. I don't want to mess it up right here on YouTube. We'll mess it up. We should have practiced it.
Maybe some other time. I heard a noise. Oh, it's just the water.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, so let's talk about this part where so she's talking to him and she invites him over to dinner. She's like, why don't you come over to dinner? I want you to be able to talk to my friend Angela and her man and talk to me, but you're really coming over for Zach. Like she's still trying to say it like that. So it'll be all of us, but she wanted to look like he's coming over for Angela and that she didn't bring Dr. Reed over too.
Right.
So she told Angela that she called her up and was like, hey, can you do this for me or whatever? So, she leaves the office. He was like, at first he was giving her a hard time, like, I don't know. But finally the doctor was like, okay, I'll do that for you. And we'll talk about all of this about the payment later or whatever.
Oh yeah, and so then from there it picks up. We're at the office, and this is like, I'm like, all right. I'm looking at Zach kind of funny in this scene too. They at the office.
Yeah. Zach and
Bryce. He walks in. Bryce and they're a realtor. I think. Is it they personal realtor? Yeah, I don't remember her name, but they discussing some property or something that's about to generate them a whole lot of money. And Bryce is trying to talk to him about this possible opportunity because they are technically business partners.
That's right.
I mean, even though he did try to slob him down in the mouth and stuff, they supposed to have got past that, and it's time to put get back to business.
One hit a quitter to his face. So.
He's just trying to get back down to business, and they're trying to explain is Zach just playing them off. I mean, I understand, if you ain't got the money, because that's his excuse. I just ain't got the money. I think somebody's was like $2 million they need to put down. Or something like that.
He asked him to put 2, and he said he would put 1.
Something like that, and Zach was like,
I don't have the money. He was really cutthroat with it. He was like, I don't have the money.
Yeah,
I don't want to do it.
But he was very passive, and I'm like, bro, y'all up here trying to get set up to generate some more wealth, like the money, the as the phrase is, don't mess up the piggy bank. I'm coming up with all these phrases and stuff.
Okay,
So aside, y'all had y'all little trying to slide me down movement. We got it squashed. It's now
horrible.
It's now time to get back to getting this money. We are at an understanding now. If you try to slide me down again, then it's another problem.
Yeah, but he's not with all that, and I just don't know what to say about that part.
Zach need to chill out. They discussed it. They both had an understanding now. He could have, listened. At least if he ain't had the money, he can be like, all right, Bryce, right now my finances ain't set up to jump on this deal. Sounds like a good opportunity. What other strategies do we have to try to pull this off? Is there somebody we can go to? Something like that, but he just blew him off, and then Bryce was like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna go to Gary."
Yeah, he's gonna go to
had a little
else.
Gary plug in there.
So then we pick up from when Fatima's in the office, and then Angela stops by. She has this pretty pink little outfit on, a little dress. It's so cute on her. And Fatima, she always looks nice. She has on a nice skirt with a top. It's the reason why I'm telling you guys about this, and I'll talk about this later on in the show while I'm talking about their outfits.
Oh, yeah.
But they're talking, and they're just talking about how they're going to get to do dinner.
Right. She had talked with Dr. Reed, the therapist, and he's going to set up. Yeah, he's going to set it up. Yeah, how they going to set it up, set them up.
I'm like, why you keep saying it? I don't understand.
The doctor's supposed to come over as their friend or something. So she's
Angela's friend.
Yeah. So she going to send the details to give to him or something like that. I mean, that's pretty much that as far as that scene. But then we pick it back up. We're back at Zach's office.
Oh, boy.
And then his two favorite people, and your two favorite people,
Nathan
walk in.
And
Tony. Walk on in there.
They come in there and they're like showing Zach like, hey, what's up? How you doing or whatever? He's like, man, what's up? Zach is never happy to see them. It seems like I wouldn't be either. Like, they're annoying. So, out of nowhere, what is this? Nathan, he was like, hey, so, did you find out about this? And he was like, Zatima, you get to hit me. I said it wrong. Fatima is over there and she's on this dating site. He still want to bring up this dating site. And what is it called? It's not getthebooty.com. You thought it was called.
Yeah, I mean, close enough. Get you some ASS now.
He was get you some blank now. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, anyways, he's like, man, that ain't Fatima. And he was like, yes, it is. He was like, oh, jump. He was like, right now it says that she's in the office building and and she's gonna be there in an hour.
Oh, no. So, yeah, apparently in the profile, we got all this detailed information about how she likes to have sex on the stairwell in the parking garage.
In her job.
Yeah, I'm like, they got kind of raunchy. You working at this high end law firm. Y'all can, you can't find like a guest office suite or something.
Hotel, motel.
You out here getting bust down in the parking deck. Off of Get You Some Booty Now or whatever this site is called. But
some blank now.
As I digress, they so
and it's this pretty picture of her with like she's outside, like for her profile picture. They only show us a little bit, but it's like she doesn't even show like she looks very like sophisticated basically on the
right.
I say Fatima in her name at the same time, but so Fatima end up writing Zach like, hey, I'm gonna be an hour late, but coming home today.
Oh yeah,
because on there, that's why I said he was like. He was text. Okay, so what happened was Nathan was like, I'm about to write her now. He's like, but I'm going to act like someone else because he has a profile on there too. So, they're like, how you going to do that? Your wife going to know that you're on this site? He was like, oh, I don't pose as myself. I'm somebody else on here.
And, and they're like, so you wouldn't think that they would do the same with Fatima? Right. You up here doing the same thing?
You making a fake profile, so somebody else could be making it, right? You don't think, Nathan, because they call him dumb. So he writes this so-called Fatima that he think is her, and he writes her. He was like, "Hey, what's up? You know, I want to see you." And then she's writing him like, "Okay, well, we can meet in an hour. How about that?"
Yep.
And she was like, "Come on over to where I'm gonna be at, which is the staircase that they're gonna sit at." So then out of nowhere,
oh, they not sitting at no staircase.
So out of nowhere, Zach gets a text from Fatima, and she's like, "I'm gonna be an hour late." He was like, "Oh, it is her." You know, he was like, "It is her, man," and he was like, "I knew it." He said that.
He was like, no, he was looking down. He was like, "Hey, I just got text. You know, Fatima said it's gonna be an hour late," and his homeboy is like, "Oh boy, come on now."
But Zach did say, he was like, "It is her, man." But I'm like, I can't believe he said that. He knows not her.
I mean, he was in denial a little bit. He was like, you know, it could just be a coincidence.
Yeah,
y'all tripping. Why
did she write him say she gonna be an hour late anyway?
Well, now, you know, in his head now, he like, let me find out my fiance getting bust down in the parking deck.
Oh my gosh, that would be crazy. I'm like, man, Tyler Perry is just crazy with it, coming up with all this. Oh boy, let me not say that. So at the end, they're like, okay, let's just go to the let's go there. So you know, Zach's like, I ain't going with y'all, whatever like that. So Nathan was like, well, I'm going. So then Tony's like, well, I gotta go with him, you know, just to, you know,
make
be
sure
the chaperone.
he
make sure he do it good, because you know he be messing up.
Right.
So you know that's how it is. He ends up leaving, and Zach's acting all hard like, I ain't going.
And next thing you know, he running out right after
them. They ran out. Then here he come running out. Then it goes off like that.
Playing tricks on you.
This is like, they acting so young. Like, really, like you said, they just need to talk. It need to be communication. They could have nipped all that in the bud.
Right,
he could have been at home. He been known about the
profile
website.
picture.
Yeah. So why he haven't told her nothing yet? Like, hey man, because it's too much. Enough is enough. I don't need my friends coming at me, plotting things in my head. Like, let's go. Let's set it up. Let's really see if they really gonna talk. Nobody got time to set people up like that no more. We're not in high school. They not in high school. So what is going on?
Well, her text is they need some better friends.
They need some
stop
better
trying to you know, be negative and try to offer some reasoning.
Where is positivity? Can we bring back positivity to this earth?
They need to hang around. They need to hang around some more old people like Tyrone.
Yeah.
Well, you know, he got his Obamacare and Rico women he laid with. So
they're about to be with Fatima's mom, and she's older. Fatima's mom and her stepdad.
Yeah, so we're gonna get into that because you know, you leading into the other episode.
But old people, I'm like, wait a minute, ding ding, they are gonna be talking to some old
people.
True
that.
I'm sorry,
but no, it's all good. I mean, you know, my takes from this episode. Number one, Fatima needed to be honest with herself as well. She knows she need to go ahead and get that therapy as well. Trying to just throw it all on Zach and trying to deflect. You know, y'all need to do what's best for y'all relationship as it pertains to the both of you. You know, you openly have admitted that you've had issues in the past, getting past some past stuff going on in the relationship. You know, there's some stuff. The Dr. Reed, I had to make sure I had it right. Kept y'all work through. And of course, Zach. Hopefully he's receptive. I have a feeling, my prediction is it's probably not going to play out that way like it need to. But I don't know, I might be surprised. I was a little underwhelmed from the little big payoff of when he got caught with his side chick toy. You know, I was expecting to be a little more dramatic there. It was just a little quick. Let me go call my girl back. And, you know, we're going to make a little jokey joke and go on to the next scene. I'm like, bro, the way they set this up, I thought it was going to be a bigger delivery.
What did you think going to happen?
I don't know. I thought she was just going to be sitting there and it was just going to be going back and forth a little bit. Yeah. I mean, I guess it did what it needed to do.
Some scenes, they have too long for no reason. Like, come on with it. But that scene is one of the scenes we wanted to see a little longer than, right?
Right.
We wanted to see how it was going to play out. I mean, she just came and laughed it off. But I don't know. We want to know, what would y'all have wanted to see on that episode when it first came on, season 2, episode 7, when she runs up there and catches Zach.
I know you ain't.
Not actually with a woman, but he's with a side chick, but it's not a real woman. It's a toy. So what did y'all think was going to happen, when that came about? Because I thought she was just gonna laugh it off, and maybe he would laugh it off too, and then they would have just became a happy family right there. But it still was a little tension, and I mean, it could have been more. I mean, she hit him with the pillow only 3 times. Maybe she should have knocked him upside his head more than 3 times. They could have showed a little more of that dramatic, and they both play fight, wrestle, and then they start kissing after they wrestle, and they kiss and they just love on each other, and that could have been what I thought could have happened. I don't know.
That ain't about to go down while she got this unsuspecting or suspecting not the dashiki. I forgot about the dashiki.
She had it on, but she had a full face of makeup. Her hair was pretty.
I was talking about, he know in the back of her head, she getting bust down on the stairways on Get You Some Booty Now.
She wasn't even thinking about that part. And she wasn't thinking about him coming out of Deja's house with a heart on either. So right there, that could have been blocked out of their heads. You know how it is when you're fighting with someone and then all of a sudden it's called makeup sex.
Yeah, I don't think they had.
It could have been that. So you guys let us know what you thought about this episode. If you watched it, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave your comments underneath and below. And until next time, make sure you thumbs up this video, share it and like it. We'll see you guys.
Zach, get your maintenance man still.
You're still on that.
Drink from my sunshine, sip from